So from juniors we go to seniors. Here is your starting grid for Wertungslauf 1 for these drivers, and here is the starting order. Linus Henson starts from pole position. Lukas Hartmann in second in 309. Row 2 is the 310 of Maurice Schmeis and the 341 of Maddox Wirtz. Then it's the 339 of Finn Stiak and the 394 of Giuseppe Fico, row 3. Row 4, Max Busch in the 313 and Luca Köster in the 366. Running out the top 10, it's Luca Thiel in the 399 and Darius Nitu in the 3. Running out the 21 strong grid, it is Lukas Thompson in the 312. Leander Luke Schneider in the 345, Kian Agassadi in the 52, Adrian Dobrich in the 335, the 363 of Philip Keskik, 327 of Bennett Arends, the 331 of Luisa Kehler, the 355 of Mats Johan Overhoff, the number 323 of Finley Humfrecht, the 302 of Lasse Reinhardt, and Vivian Michel Wright in the 328 brings the 21 strong grid to a close. Minutes on the clock plus an additional lap. Into the tram lines we go. Revs rise, and I'm not too sure if that was a good start because Linus Henson got an absolute jump and a half. I hope that's not too much where it's considered to be a jump start by race control. Your guess is as good as mine, but we are underway and racing. So things are getting rather heated already. Finn Stiak looks to have made up a couple of positions already, might be up into P3. As there's moves up and down the order. Luca Köster looks to be getting his elbows out a little bit here as well, amongst others. Don't forget about the likes of Kian Agassadi. So crossing lines to complete lap number 1. Henson leads from Schmeis, Hartmann in third, Maddox Wirtz, Max Busch ran out the top 5. Schmeis has made his way past Hartmann, and Max Busch up into P5. Finn Stiak, Giuseppe Fico and Luca Köster ran at the top 8 ahead of Kian Agassadi and Bennett. Brilliant start to his race. Luca Thiel is all the way down in 17th position. So the 399, who is close in terms of the positioning, in terms of the championship. But Linus Henson has one more race after this. If he can win this race, I think he'll have one hand on a successful title defence. Considering the fact as, right, Lukas Thompson looks to be out early, and that is a big shame for the 3 running on the Mach 1 chassis. So 12 minutes and 10 seconds still to go, plus an additional lap. Leander Luke Schneider up to 14th. And that is the battle on your screens there between Maurice Schmeis and Lukas Hartmann. Hartmann up the... Well, that was not Hartmann, my apologies there. That looks to be Luca Köster that's got past... Seeing who that is, because there have been quite a few changes, let's be honest. I did see a Karchmi kart in front, and that could be more than likely Giuseppe Fico. So this here is one of the other battles, and that is Hartmann versus Schmeis. Maddox Wirtz is trying to close, the driver from 3G Racing. Max Busch rounds out the top 5 ahead of Finn Stiak. See, the back axle of Lukas Hartmann's kart gets a bit of air going through the chicane on the mid part of the circuit. But they are all still battling over the scraps on the table as Bennett Arends, Luca Köster and Kian Agassadi battling away over what is 8th position on the road. And Bennett Arends, after that, coming together with Luca Thiel, which was no fault of his. It was more like Luca Thiel went for the inside move on the hairpin in the final race yesterday. Bennett Arends had nowhere to go. The front end got an absolute wallop and a half. Good to see. I spy with my little eye, courtesy of social media, Kai Rielitz is watching, cheering on the guys from JJ. So Kai, hope you and the family are well. I'll see you guys at BNL next week. 10 minutes and 13 to go. So Lucas Thompson. Right, okay, we've got our first 3-second penalty, wheels out of the tram lines, and it goes to Lucas Hartmann, who is trying to chase down Linus Henson. So the battle for the lead is on. But the biggest thing is Hartmann's got the lead from Henson. He's got the job done, but he hasn't. I know that's a bit of a double-edged sword, what I've just said just then. But from my perspective, Linus Henson is still the de facto leader. And he now can dictate what happens to Lucas Hartmann, because with the 3-second time penalty, that is going to drop the 3.09 down to 8th position, which is where Bennett Arends is currently situated. And that could make a very, very big difference to the results here for Wertungslauf 1. 8 minutes and 30 still to go. And is Hartmann going to be able to push? The thing is that Henson, will have an understanding of exactly where Luca Thiel is. Is that Henson is going to be looking out for Luca Thiel. And effectively what will happen is that Luca Thiel has a couple of difficult drop scores. So Henson can actually lose, probably I would say, Henson would lose, well, he's got a DNF, well, he's got a 0 from Kerpen, so that could be used, or the 13 points score that he had after the intermediate classification at Mulsen. Mats Johan Overhoff has unfortunately ended up retiring the kart on lap 7. Adrian Dobric still running. Well, hang on a second. No, they're still running. Funny when timing does a strange thing to you. It thinks it's going somewhere. Luca Thiel now up into the top 15. 15th place, just over a tenth and a half behind Finley Hamprecht. As Bennett Arends and Giuseppe Fico battling away over position. This is for 7th on the road. And Giuseppe Fico having that Italian tricolore on the top part of his crash helmet. Halfway through the race, 7 minutes done, 7 to go. And Lucas Hartmann is not pulling away as much as I thought he would in comparison with these, with what we have. So Lucas Thompson, unfortunately, is out of the race. Still, it's a shame for the 312, who will have to start from the back part of the grid come the end of this race. As a little bit of a mistake there. That was uncharacteristic of Luca Costa. Went through the hairpin, kart drifted out, and Giuseppe Fico has just gotten through to take that position, and now trying to chase after Bennett Arends. There's the two leaders. Gap between first and second now is 0.645. The way that Hartmann is actually pushing, he's going 46.2s at the moment, has done so for the last couple of laps. There's Morris Schmeis with Maddox Wirtz. So they've changed position. I think that is Maddox Wirtz, is it? No, that's Finn Stiak. So Maddox Wirtz has gotten up away from these two who are battling away for position. Max Busch is catching them. There's Bennett Arends. There's Giuseppe Fico. Looks like Mats-Johan Overhoff has officially retired as of lap 7. On to lap number 12 as, very, very nip and tuck. Trying to force open the door was Finch Diak. And Maurice Schmeis was having absolutely none of it. There was a little bit of rubbing between wheel and side pod there. So effectively from that perspective, Mannix Fierce is trying to do everything and just trying to open the door. Now they're side by side. This gives Max Busch the opportunity, and Finch Diak has just lost a position. Just goes to show you that the chess game doesn't always work in your favour. Doesn't always work in your favour at all. And with the fact that Schmeis has been doing a very, very good defensive job, we're into the last 4 minutes of this race, plus an additional lap. And after this, we will be going to the lunch break. And there is a move from Max Busch up the inside of Morris. No, that was Finch Diak. So Finch Diak has made the move through into the final corner. Hartmann leads 1.47 seconds ahead of Linus Henson, and now is more than likely going to be P3 at the end of this all, because Max Busch, Maurice Schmeis and Finch Diak will be battling tooth and nail. And looks like Max Busch has, so Finch Diak has now gotten through on Maurice Schmeis. Bennett Arends in 7th, Giuseppe Fico, Luca Costa and Filip Keskic round out the top 10 with 3.5 minutes to go, but there is still plenty of racing action to come this afternoon. We will have a total of 8 exciting races in prospect. We still have the 2 races that have been rescheduled from the opening round at Wackersdorf back on the 26th of June earlier on this year. And there is an opportunity for a chance of a change of position, because now Maurice Schmeis is behind both Busch and Stiak and has got Bennett Arends right up his back bumper. So this could be a big, big telling point on what could transpire in the dying moments of this race. And Lucas Hartmann, the way he's been driving the wheels off of the 309 Cosmic chassis, he's got himself 1.6 seconds up the road from Linus Henson. Can he make it 3 by the end of the race, or over 3 seconds? If he does that, he takes the victory. We saw yesterday he took a 5-second time penalty for a jump start. Gap now 2 seconds. Maybe Lucas Hartmann knows what he's got to do. He'll have been indicated that he's got a 3-second time penalty, and he'll react accordingly. And Henson is just getting the cart to the checkered flag. The main important point for him is to make sure there is enough distance between him and Lucas, who in the meantime has been making steady progress up the order to 11th place. And that is where I think the 399's race will end, and that could possibly be the deciding factor in his championship challenge, coming unstuck at the final hurdle. 90 seconds on the clock remain, and Lucas Hartmann now has 2.356 seconds. He's probably got 3 laps to extend that to 3. If he can do that and extend it to over 3 seconds, he'll have done the job and will have gotten a victory. Now, he's taken a victory earlier on. He took one back at Kerpen earlier on this season when Linus Henson and Luca Thiel battling for the lead clashed at Kerpen. So we have got an idea, an inkling that he has got a chance of doing it. There's Luca Köster up the inside of Maurice Schmeis, who has unceremoniously dropped out of the top 7 positions. Now you make that top 8. Gap now is 2.432. And Lucas Hartmann is over 3 seconds ahead of Maddox Wirtz. So that means that Hartmann has to just get the best part of over 5.5 tenths of a second in the next 2 to 3 laps. We're on lap number 17 of this race. Well, we're on lap number 18 of this race, and with 21 seconds on the clock remaining, if Hartmann is about 2.7 seconds ahead of Linus Henson, he just needs to find a couple of tenths a lap to get that gap up to 3 seconds come the checkered flag. The timer is about to hit 0, and the gap is now 2.628 seconds. This and another lap to go. Can Lukas Hartmann bring that gap to over 3 seconds? As Max Wirtz is trying to close in on Linus Henson. Morris Schmeiss now coming under fire from Filip Keskic from Kart Performance Racing in the 363. So the timer expired nearly 30 seconds ago. Spush and Finchdiak still battling away over 4th position. Very shortly, what's the gap between the two leaders? That's what I'm very interested about. I've got a defined interest in, as you've heard over the last couple of minutes. Okay, lead now is 3 seconds. Final lap board is out. Lukas Hartmann put in a 46.098. That was over 2.5 tenths of a second quicker than Linus Henson. Filip Keskic has gotten past Morris Schmeiss in the meantime, and here is Luca Thiel. So Luca Thiel is gunning for the top 10. He might get the job done in the final lap, because there might be a signal from the JJ Racing camp saying, Morris, get out of the way. He's gunning for a title. That could very well make the difference. But Lukas Hartmann will very shortly cross the line to take the checkered. And there he is. He's crossed the line. What's the gap between him and Linus Henson? It is enough. He's taken the victory despite a 3-second time penalty post-race for 2 wheels outside of the tram lines. Linus Henson ends up 3.475 seconds adrift in 2nd position and has one hand on retaining his crown here in 2021. Max Wirtz in 3rd ahead of Max Busch, Finchdiak, Bennett Arens, Giuseppe Fico, Luca Costa, Filip Keskic, Luca Thiel rounding out the top 10 at the end and got the job done on Morris Schmeiss. Morris Schmeiss finishes 11th ahead of Kian Agassade, Darius Nitu, Luisa Kehler, Finley Hamfrecht rounding out the top 15. Lasse Reinhardt completes the top 16 ahead of Leander Luke Schneider, Adrian Dobrich and Vivian Michelle Wright, who completes the 19 drivers that finished all 20 laps of racing, the best part of 21 kilometres, with Mats Johan Overhoff retiring on lap 7 and Lucas Thompson retiring on the very first lap of the race.